Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up chat. It is Friday evening and I have two topics that I want to talk about tonight. The first one is, well, I don't know which order I'll do it in, but I want to talk about Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, who has announced that, rather it's been found out, that he is taking further legal action against certain publications in the press. And we have further new details of the Cambridge's, William and Catherine's upcoming tour of Pakistan later this month. So we have a few things to talk about, but first of all, I want to find the chat room and see if notifications have gone out, because that's always a good thing if it has, and see who's here and say hello. So I hope you've all had a really wonderful day. I will just remind people at the very top of this chat that I am going live in 45 minutes on Patreon for a patrons only chat. So I'm going to keep this chat fairly brief just so I can set up for that. So, maybe half an hour's chat. So hello to everyone. I can see lots of familiar names in the chat room. So hello, yes, top of the morning, says Zlee. Or rather, it's like I say, it's 8:15 here in the UK. Right, I'm going to start. I've decided, because I think there's going to be lots of talk about what Prince Harry's doing. I'm going to start with what the Cambridges are doing. So bear with me for a moment if you're into just the Harry and Meghan news. I'm going to read a statement from the Communications Secretary to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. So this is the official information. Published on the 4th of October today, 2019. So, this is all we know so far about the upcoming Pakistan tour. Now, I will say at the start of this that the media, a lot of the royal reporters that you see on Twitter, they have attended a briefing today. So they have been at an official meeting where basically they've been told what's going on with the tour, but I think they've been sworn to secrecy because a lot of the engagements have been embargoed. So I don't think we're going to get, a full itinerary list. A lot of the engagements are embargoed due to safety concerns. So there is, a little bit of secrecy actually around this tour, but it isn't for any other reason other than security. And a lot of the royal reporters that have been to this briefing have come out and said or commented that this is one of the most kind of technically complicated and complex tours that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have undertaken to date. So they also said that a lot of the engagements are very exciting. So we don't know what they are at this moment. But let's read the statement. So, their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, will undertake an official visit to Pakistan between Monday the 14th and Friday the 18th of October at the request of the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. This will be their Royal Highnesses' first official visit to Pakistan, so we get a 4-day tour. And it is an official one at the request of the government. Whilst the Duke and Duchess's programme will pay respect to the historical relationship between Britain and Pakistan, it will largely focus on showcasing Pakistan as it is today, a dynamic, aspirational and forward-looking nation, from the modern leafy capital Islamabad to the vibrant city of Lahore, the mountainous countryside in the north, that sounds really lovely, I want to see that, and the rugged border regions to the west. The visit will span over 1,000 kilometres and will take in Pakistan's rich culture, its diverse communities and its beautiful landscapes. I'm so looking forward to the mountainous region. That's probably going to be my favourite. Throughout the tour, their Royal Highnesses will visit programmes which empower young people and organisations that help ensure they have the best possible start in life. Access to quality education, particularly to girls and young women, is one of the UK's priorities in Pakistan. The Duke and Duchess are looking forward to spending time meeting young Pakistanis and hearing more about their aspirations for the future. Their Royal Highnesses programme will also cover how communities in Pakistan are rapidly responding and adapting to the effects of climate change. This is a key area of interest for their Royal Highnesses. They are keen to learn more about the climate change issues affecting Pakistan and our world, and the positive work being undertaken to combat these challenges. Their Royal Highnesses will also spend time understanding the complex security picture in Pakistan. They will learn more about the challenges and opportunities, both of the past and today. The UK has been a key partner for Pakistan, and the Duke and Duchess will meet UK and Pakistan military personnel who are sharing expertise to improve security. As with previous overseas visits, the Duke and Duchess have asked that this tour allow them opportunities to meet as many Pakistanis as possible. Over the course of the visit, their Royal Highnesses will meet a wide variety of people, including children and young people, leaders from government, business and the charity sector, inspiring conservationists, and well-known cultural figures and sporting stars. This is the most complex tour undertaken by the Duke and Duchess to date. Given the logistical and security considerations, Pakistan hosts one of Britain's largest overseas networks, with the British High Commission in Islamabad being one of the UK's largest diplomatic missions in the world. The UK's links with Pakistan are extensive, and their Royal Highnesses are looking forward to building a lasting friendship with the people of Pakistan. So there we go. That is all we know at present about the tour, but it does look to be a very interesting one, and one that I think is going to connect the Duke and Duchess to the people of Pakistan. Although they are going to be meeting officials, they very much, like all their previous tours, want this to be where they meet ordinary people. They don't want to see sugar-coated, areas. They want to go and get to the real towns. Like I said, one of the things that I'm looking forward to in this is the mountainous region. I think the scenery will be amazing, and also when you go out of the big cities and you go into the more rural areas, like any country, you get to meet a different type of not a different type of people, but a different way of life, if you know what I mean. So you get to see probably how most people in that country live if you venture out of the capital cities and the big towns. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a 4-day tour, so I imagine it will be pretty full on. I'm imagining we're going to get lots of outfit changes for those of you who like to follow the fashion. I'm sure that the Duchess has already chosen her wardrobe, and I'm sure it's going to pay homage to the UK and designers in Pakistan. It may even be some Pakistani designers within the UK that she may have chosen. So I think we're going to get a very diverse, a very rich, and a very real programme of engagements, whatever they are, because like I say, most of these engagements have been embargoed for security reasons. I'm going to zip up before we get on to Prince Harry's further legal action against the press, and I'm going to see what people are saying about the tour. I'm glad notifications have gone out, finally. Mary Brunn says, I am part of Patreon and I can hear and see you, but I can't chat. I have no idea. I really have no idea. Literally, I have no idea. Try this time, and then we'll see if it does it again. Hello to Mrs. Pilling, who's not made it for a while. Don't worry, I haven't been doing live chats for a while. Look, yes, in the UK, the Prince Harry story is all over the news. It's on the news channels. It's kind of everywhere. NR says, so excited for the tour. William and Catherine's Australian tour still remains my favourite. That was a good one. I mean, all of them are good. I mean, any of the royals' foreign tours are pretty amazing. I mean, one idea I had that I would love to do, I mean, if ever there was a TV network that wanted to give me a TV show, one of the things that I would love to do is to actually retrace the steps of a royal tour. I don't care if it's Harry and Meghan, or William and Catherine, or Charles and Camilla, or the Queen. I don't care. But I would like to retrace the steps of a royal tour. I would love to go to the same places that they went to and visit the same charities, with a focus on seeing how a royal visit has changed that charity. You know, for example, I don't know. Let's just say when the Cambridges went to Canada, they visited lots of different places. I would like to go and see what impact that visit had. How are the charities doing? So yeah, if I had a TV show, I would love to retrace the royal footsteps. That would be my pitch for a TV show. I'd love that. HM the King says should be a very good tour. It should be I'm expecting a lot of diversity, a lot of very interesting things going on. I'm thinking things outside the box, and I don't know quite what they're going to be, but yes, I'm expecting some very interesting things going on. I don't think the royal children are going with them. No, it's only 4 days, so I'm imagining that no. Perhaps all the children will go on their next, a big tour. And when I talk big tour, I'm thinking, maybe 2 weeks. So yes, maybe on the next kind of tour. HM the King says, and also if it's not in school time either. HM the King says, I can't wait for them to see the natural beauty of Pakistan has to offer. The mountainous regions, all the rural regions, I am really looking forward to. That will be amazing. Oh yes, the food, yes. Sorry, the comments just whizzed down to the bottom. I'm going to go back up again. Yes, somebody did mention food, and I wish we had smelly vision, because I imagine all the food would just smell amazing. Mary Brun says, well, I assume George and Charlotte wouldn't be going, but I was wondering about Louis. No, I don't think so. I mean, they could surprise us and just take Louis, but no. I'm thinking all the kids will stay behind with nannies, and it's just a 4-day working trip, so there probably wouldn't be that much. If you see what I mean, there wouldn't be that much point in it. It's just 4 days. It's not 10 days. It's not 2 weeks. So no. We may not, but I'm thinking more towards the may not. HM the King says, definitely watch the Queen's tour in 1965. We'll share in the face. Oh, yes. The Queen had some amazing tours. I mean, I think probably the best one was her initial tour when she first became Queen, to go and see all the Commonwealth. Amazing. And if you can see some of the old newsreel footage, just incredible. An incredible tour. I think it took something like 6 months to undertake, and a lot of that was taken on the Royal Yacht Britannia. So yes, that was probably one of my favourite ones of the Queen's reign. Barbie says, jealousy, watch how amazing Catherine looks in the fashion. Oh, no doubt, I'm sure her fashion will be incredible. I don't think anybody has any doubts in their mind that her fashion will be impeccable. Carolyn says, please clarify, did you say they were requested to go? Yes. It was by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, which is basically the government, the UK government. So they were requested to go. But in times gone by, that would have been for the Queen to go. But obviously, because the Queen no longer does overseas travel, members of the family represent. So yes, requested by the government. Sharona says, I got a photograph of Prince George as a thank you for wishing him a happy birthday. Wow. Congratulations. Frame it. Frame it. I'm just going to skip through a few comments. Oh, people saying great idea. Are you talking about my idea for the TV show? I would love that. How long have they been in Pakistan? 4 days. Maryron says, you can do the royal tour in the Caribbean. You can come to Grenada. Oh, nice weather. I'm there. Yes, put me on that one. And I can hold Camilla's parasol just like she did for the entire time. I don't think she ever came out of that parasol, did she? So yes, I'd pack my parasol if I went somewhere like there. Anything the King says, you could start by retracing the steps of the coronation. Oh, give me a 6-month tour? Yes, no, it wouldn't take 6 months these days because you do it by plane. But yes, I would love to retrace the coronation tour because that takes in literally everywhere. So yes, I would love to do that. And also, it's a bit like a travel show, so I could be a bit like Judith Chalmers. Those of you in the UK might remember who Judith Chalmers is. She used to do a travel show in the UK called Wish You Were Here, and she was always bronzed and tanned with blonde hair, and she was always on some sunny exotic climb on a beach somewhere. So yes, I could be the new Judith Chalmers. I would quite like that. Mary Brun says 4 days isn't that bad, just thinking it would be hard to be away from the kiddos. It's just 4 days, and to be honest, you know, they're parents of 3, and to be honest, they may like a little bit of a break, I think, maybe. No, you haven't missed me talking about Harry and the press. I am getting onto that very soon. I'm moving down. Right, okay, let's talk about that now. So, let me find my little bits. Okay. So, I've got an article open which I will share. It's not a tabloid publication, so you're safe to open it if you don't like opening tabloids, and it does give kind of just little bits of information that we know. So I'm not going to read all of it, but there's the link if you wish to read it. But it basically sums up what's happening. So basically, Prince Harry has announced further action in his name only, against two UK publications. So if you open the link, you'll see who those publications are. And there is evidence that this has gone on. So this is not gossip, this is not rumour, this is actually true. There are Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunals Public Search and Office copies. So there are 2 official documents, and if I'm just kind of zooming in on them. So the case title is the Duke of Sussex versus one news group, and the other is the Duke of Sussex versus another company, another news company. It was filed on the 27th of the 9th, 2019. Now, I don't know how they kind of knew that this was happening. I mean, they literally must have been searching for it continually to have found it, you know, so quickly. So it was filed a few days ago. The claimant is the Duke of Sussex, obviously, and it is under a different legal firm to the Shivers that is representing the Duchess in her case. So this is Clinton's solicitors. So they are specialist solicitors that deal with this type of issue. Now, this type of issue that he is pressing charges for taking action against this time is actually to do with hacking. It's to do with phone hacking. So in the UK, was it round about 2007? Something along those lines. We had a massive phone hacking scandal. You may remember it, even overseas. I mean, I'm sure maybe it made the news overseas. And the hacking scandal resulted in one UK newspaper actually closing. And it was a really big kind of, you know, expose news publication. And it closed. It completely folded because of this hacking scandal. So many celebrities, so many royals, so many people in power, you know, politicians, their phones were hacked, and the publications had no scruples at all. They allowed people within their employment to do, and it was actually, I mean, if you Google it to see how they actually hacked the phones, it's really simple. It was really simple to get into the voicemail. So it was actually relating to voicemails that were left on the phones. And they just did a few simple things. I'm not going to go into it here in case it inspires people to hack phones. But it was really simple for them to hack into these phones. And I'm hoping security on phones has got better since then. Because back then, how you hack into a phone's emails was really easy. So they got prosecuted. There were lots of prosecutions, and some people did go to jail for it, and there has been ongoing claims against these companies for phone hacking. Now, of course, the bulk of these claims were way back when it actually happened. So a lot of people are saying, well, why now is Harry doing that in relation to, you know, what, 13 years ago, something along those lines? And I think we all probably know. I mean, you know, basically the Sussexes are not very happy with the press. We all know that. We know that from Harry's statement. And now, reading into Harry's statement regarding Meghan's actions, you can also relate a lot of that to his actions today, or rather, what he filed on the 27th. So, I don't think he was solely talking about Meghan. I think he was also talking about his own legal action, kind of behind the scenes a little bit going on there. So, yes, documents were filed in the High Court in London last Friday, the 27th, via lawyers Clinton's, alleging both news groups misused his private information for stories. Again, I'm hoping that this is in relation to the hacking that went on years ago, and that it's not in relation to any kind of new hacking, because I and many people in the UK thought that, that issue had been resolved, that these news publications wouldn't dare do it again. But maybe they have. Maybe this is relating to newer things. I don't know, but I'm hoping. Many people are speculating that it relates solely to what happened years ago, that it's kind of retrospective, and this isn't uncommon in terms of, people are still filing complaints against what happened years ago. So, for a lot of people, it's just about the satisfaction of, making correcting wrongs, basically. So, obviously Harry, underwent a wrong way back when, and now it's time, perhaps he sees, to correct that role. But also, it does kind of, it does serve to put the media in their place, because we've got Meghan's actions going on, we've got his actions going on, so it is a bit of a at the media. And we didn't know, going back months and months, that anything like this was being done, but it is being done. And like Harry said in his statement, this is not the safe option, but he feels that it's the right option to take. So it is a gamble. I mean, there is no guarantee, like I said in my previous live chat, that he's going to win these cases. But the one thing I will say is, I don't think they would have brought these cases unless the legal team, that's representing Harry and Meghan in both of their different cases, were really, really, really sure that they'd got something. So I'm hopeful that that justice will prevail. But we also have to err on the side of caution that maybe it might not. But it is a gamble. Harry himself said this is not the safe option. So we do have to kind of, bear that in mind. Also, some of these publications were actually, at the time of this phone hacking, were actually led by, and I am going to say the name, Piers Morgan. So Piers Morgan was editor, I do believe, at the time of one of these publications, along round about the time when all this hacking scandals was going on. So this is, it could even bring people back into court to face civil justice that were working at the time on these news publications. So could that mean that Piers Morgan would be brought into it? I don't know. That's just something I think we have to bear in mind. But also lots of other, people that were working in these publications at the time. Yes, and that there is some more quotes as well. So this is a legal source that told the publication that I just published, an appearance by the Prince in the witness box would immediately make this an historic moment in British law. There are strong matters of principle at stake here for the Prince. A lot of work has gone into preparing these cases to the point they can be formally filed. His legal team plainly feels there are cases to be answered here. Now, of course, that is opinion, but yes, I kind of I agree with it. I don't think they would have brought this action if they didn't feel that there was a case to be answered, and that they didn't stand a good chance of winning, basically. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? I'm not gonna read all of that article, but I am going to go to the chat room to see exactly what people are saying. Let's just go up a little tiny bit. Parmalee Stevens says, I remember when Prince Charles and Camilla's phone calls were hacked into, did they so? I don't think they did. But, you know, there probably would have been a good case against that. I mean, it is becoming more common when the press breach these sort of red line moments. So prior to this, the only other kind of suing case we've had was obviously when Harry and Meghan were suffered the intrusion of the helicopter being flown over their Cotswolds property, and before that, I think the one before that was, of course, William and Catherine with the Royal Cambridge Tartars being photographed with a long lens camera and published in magazines. So, you know, I've said all along that there are red line issues. And obviously, you know, invasions of privacy, you know, showing someone's Tartars in a publication, you know, that kind of thing, flying over someone's home, are obviously kind of red line issues. The question a lot of people are asking is, with the if this is a retrospective case, why now? Well, I think we all know why now, don't we? But you know, Harry and Meghan haven't said why now, but I think we all know, don't we? I think we all know why now, because you know it's got to a head. All of this, you know, ill feeling with the press has got to a head, and it's just like what I said. I've been saying for months now. I don't care who does something. I don't care if it's the press that do something. I don't care if it's Harry and Meghan that do something. I don't care if it's, you know, higher ups in the royal family that do something about it. But something needs to be done to try and, you know, resolve things. Now, did I ever anticipate that it would be in the form of legal action being taken? No, I didn't. But this is the course of action that's being taken. It's been taken by Harry and Meghan, and I'm hoping that the outcome of it will resolve the issue. So I kind of got my wish, in the respect that someone's doing something. So at least there's something being done with the hope of it, you know, potentially the outcome could resolve the issues. I don't know if it will, but potentially. Yes, hacking phones is now a criminal. I think it always was a criminal offence, wasn't it? Juana says the Cambridges deserve a trip and a break together. Catherine is a hard worker and a very hands-on mother. She is indeed. Let's just skip down to the bottom. Viva says, so glad Prince Harry is taking action indeed. BD says, what a big mess. Would the Queen have given her approval? Now, because Harry and Meghan are now, obviously they've got their own household, but it is under the umbrella of Buckingham Palace. I wouldn't have thought that the higher ups in Buckingham Palace wouldn't have known about this. I mean, I know I've heard some stories reporting that Buckingham Palace didn't know, that the Queen is furious and all this business, but I don't think that's true. I think their household perhaps would have taken it upon themselves to do it. And then when they got to the point where it's like, okay, we have enough evidence to put a case, we feel like we have, although it's not certain, we feel like we have enough, the best chance possible of getting a result in our favour, let's do it. I think at that point, they would have informed the higher ups at Buckingham Palace and said, look, you know, we've got this case put together. We think we've got a good chance of winning, although it's not 100% certain. It's not guaranteed. We want to do this, and I think Buckingham Palace would probably have given the go-ahead, especially as it is one of these red light issues where in the past, you know, Harry and Meghan have sued before, and also William and Catherine have. So I think that's what Harry and Meghan meant by in the statement, well, Harry's statement, by saying, you know, this is months. It's a long time in the planning and making, because I think they would have had to have got the case pretty much watertight before bringing it to the higher ups at Buckingham Palace to get the go ahead on it. So I think the higher ups know about this. I don't believe that the Queen is furious and didn't know. I'm laughing at Floss and Rog Payne's comment about Piers Morgan. Yes, we'll all bring a tomato. Catherine Mark says, it's about time. Hurrah, praise the Lord. I am happy that Harry and Meghan have sued their behind. Well, they have. We now know that they have. DC says, how does the lawsuit fit in with the Queen's never complain, never explain? Well, I thought about this myself, and like I said, these are sort of red line privacy issues, really, what we're relating to. And I still don't think, Harry and Meghan, or the Queen, or William and Catherine, or Charles and Camilla, anyone, are going to, anytime soon, be answering or commenting on every little possible lie that's being put in the press against them. So I do think we're still going to see the continuation of never complain, never explain. However, I think what we are seeing is a little bit more of an aggressive stance on red line issues, such as the privacy issues or copyright, as Harry's going for with Meghan in her case. So it's with Meghan, it's copyright and privacy with the letter, and of course in this one it's entirely privacy. So yes, I still think we'll see a continuation of never complain, never explain for all these stupid stories. But if it gets to a red line issue, or as Harry and Meghan are trying to go for, down the bullying route, although obviously you can't sue for bullying, but I think what they're basically saying is we're standing up, we're not going to take this anymore, enough's enough, Meghan's being hounded. Harry, of course, is making the connections between what's happening to Meghan now to what he saw with his own two eyes, with horror, happening to his mother. So there is a very emotional connection to Harry for what's going on. And of course, there is a difference between William and Catherine and Harry and Meghan. William and Catherine and their children are going to be the future, key royal family. King and Queen and heirs, basically. So I think William, accepts that there is going to be a little bit more intrusion into his private life. And I think for them, they have set up their own way of dealing with it. They've set up their own they've set up what they accept, basically. So they've accepted that they're going to put out photographs periodically throughout the year, here and there, informing people on what's going on with their kids. They know that the public are going to be interested in the key moments of their children's lives, so I think they've become comfortable with sharing that. And obviously, foreign tours that the kids go on, it's going to be at least one point where they're going to, put them on show. And I think they're satisfied that whets the appetite of the press and the public as well back here in the UK and the Commonwealth. But that doesn't have to be the case for every royal. They do have the right to choose, how they live and how they present their own family. So let me scoot all the way down to the bottom. Frazzled Halo says the Queen is probably sick of the vitriol spewed by the news. Well, I am. I most certainly am. So I think she might be too. Although she has had, all of her life to deal with these kinds of issues. Frostmog Payne says it must all be putting a strain on their relationship. Constantly bombarding by spite must be personal. Personal hell for them would be hard to live normally. But these things can also bring people closer together. It's like, me and you against the world. And so, it may just be that they're working together as a team, and it may even have brought them closer together as a family unit. Even more so with Archie, because they're having to, protect someone. Ooh, I need to get going in a minute, ready for my Patreon chat. No, I wasn't here for a few days because I had a few bad days. For those of you who know what's going on in my own personal life, I had a few bad days. So the final day of the Sussex tour was a bit horrendous for me. So yeah. Yes, I do need some lemon ginger tea. I will have some brewed ready for my Patreon chat. Mikhail says, can the Queen reopen the Tower of London? Oh, I think it might still be a royal prerogative to send someone to the tower. I'm sure that might be one of the Queen's, you know, kind of bystanding powers somewhere, that she can send people to the tower. Mary says, I was wondering about that when we didn't... No, I was having a bad few days. I'll talk about that a bit more later. Claire says, I think this causing awful things for our royal family, and I hope this is not the end of our royal family. You got bad vibes about this. Diana would be turning in her grave, and William will make a fab king. Everyone's going to have their own personal views on it, and I know the proof is in the pudding, as they say, as the old saying goes. So we're going to have to reserve judgment on it to find out if it is... Okay, I think going back to what Harry said, it's not the safe option, but it's the right option. So, you know, even if they aren't successful in it, at least morally, they feel like they've done what they want to morally. So we'll have to just wait and see. The proof is in the pudding. Hayden the King says, the Queen isn't bothered and is currently on the couch eating Walkers with a cup of Earl Grey, waiting for the BBC News at 9. Probably, to see if she's on it. Hello to Melody, who's in America. Hello. Okay. Oh, my tiara is the Spencer tiara, for those of you who wanted to know. So that's kind of all we know so far about Harry's legal action that's going to be taking place. We don't know when this is going to, although I think people were speculating that maybe it wouldn't be till I heard some people say 2021, which is quite late. So I don't even know if we're going to actually get the results of this next year. It could even be 2021. So I'm hoping it's next year and not 2021. But these things are slow, and you know the procedures and things are quite slow. So we will have to wait and see. Yes, the monarchy always gets past tough spots. The firm is strong indeed. It's a bit like the Force is strong, isn't it? Like Star Wars. The Queen is a bit like a Yoda, isn't she? You can imagine her with a little hood up and a schmock. You can imagine the Queen in a schmock with a hood and a lightsaber, jumping around, slaying people. Yes, not knighting them, slaying them. That would be good. Kat says, bullying is not a crime, but harassment is. Yes, I mean, you can go down that route. People better wake up and stop the nonsense, or you may be sued. Well, indeed. Yes, may the Force be with you too. H.N. the King says she has the Princess Leia hair. Yeah. Ooh, imagine if she had her fluffy white locks done into the Princess Leia buns. Ooh. Like a pair of iced buns, wouldn't it? Iced buns on her head. Iced cinnamon swirls. Mm. Yes. Susan says, what about the Markles? Are they being... Oh, don't get me started. Don't do it, my loves. Let's not go there. Stop. Quit while you're ahead. Yes. Veronica says, and on that note, long live the Queen, the bedrock of the royal family. Indeed. Mrs. V says, I love the Queen as Yoda. Oh, that would be good. Can someone do a cartoon as the Queen as Yoda? I'd love to see that. Sean says, Harry is totally a Luke Skywalker. And Meghan could be Queen Amidala. Yes. I don't know who's going to be... Oh! Fergie could be Jar Jar Binks. Stop! Quit while you're ahead. Quit while you're ahead. Stop. Don't do it. Oh, my goodness. Prince Andrew Shoeback. Stop! Don't do it. My goodness. Or else we're going to get sued. How is my little greenhouse? Well, it's still green. No, I've taken up all the tomatoes and things now. Mary says Fergie is Jar Jar, too funny. Okay, if you want to continue the Star Wars royal family talk, subscribe to Patreon, which I will be going live in 10 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up now. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also do hit the notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And please make sure you are subscribed to this channel. So from me, for now, unless we have any further developments, it's goodbye from me in Shropshire. Mwah! To you all.